I am the Notherian, and I'm pleased to be here with Table1, who is one of the great players who will be competing this Saturday in the top 8 of the Forgewatch Invitational. Thank you so much, Table, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Good evening, gentlemen.
And I have with me as well Kit, who will be in the booth doing commentary on the top 8 matches live on stream. You should all come and check it out.
Hey again, guys.
So I've got Table's deck here in front of us, the deck that he used to sail through his pool in the competition last weekend. So, Table, can you tell me why did you decide to play this sort of deck?
Well, the testing was pretty much just running tournament queues. I know some guys that didn't have teams were stuck with that. The one guy that did, I just want to give him an honorable mention. The one guy that I did have an opportunity to test with was Ted, which goes by the Steam handle of Hope. You probably know Hope.
Yep.
So we got to run some ideas against each other, things like that. But before I get into why I chose this deck, I want to just quickly talk about a couple other decks that I tried out. One of them was very similar to the deck that Whitefire top aided with. Mm-hmm. But when I was testing it myself, it was a little bit different, and I did like all 3 Rageborns, and I noticed that I really wanted all 3 Zix. I wanted to play 3 Zix in that, and that's one of the main things that made me actually switch gears and drop that one. I also tried out Leafkin Tarsus. Had a lot of fun with that. I've been playing a lot of Necrim, Uterus, stuff like that. But when I was playing AU, it just felt really solid, and more than anything, it just had a really flexible feel to it. And one of the things that I've noticed when people chime in on forums and things like that is it's kind of a head scratcher when you first look at my list. There's some cards that feel like a dead-on 3 of, yet I don't run 3 of them. But I chose this deck just because it's so flexible and it's able to compete against the field. So when we're coming into an event like the Invitational, you don't want to step into your bracket and be stone dead to something specific. One of the late changes I made was cutting 2 Bright Steel Sentinels for 2 Justicars. And that's actually where I made room for the Justicar. He wasn't an auto include for me. I barely even tested with him. So that was something that was pretty hot. The main thing about that choice was the fact that somebody was going to play Leafkin. We know how powerful it is. We know how great of a start it can have and just take over quickly. The other factor in there is probably the hottest cards in the deck are the 3 Matrix Wardens and the 3 Gemhide Bashers. I like those cards a lot. They have a ton of synergy with the other guys on this list. You're able to Gemhide turn 1 Arc Flights, turn 1 Leafkins, anything with 5 power. You're able to Gemhide their Grimgaunt Predator if he didn't get food yet, which is a huge deal, especially when you look at these powerful Necrim Tempest decks. They can get a big start. If they get that 7/7 Predator right off the bat, they can get a really big start on you, and I just want to take that away. I don't want them to have that at all. So if they want to play the Predator and kill a guy and get it to 7/7, cool. You can kind of swing. You can crack back with something like a Battle Tactician and a Gemhide, so you can go and tackle the 7/7. So it's really flexible. It looks like an aggressive deck. I know a lot of people are stuck in that mindset of Weirwood Patriarch. You just windmill slam it on the board and it makes all your guys huge and you win. And that's really not at all how I play this deck. Not at all. It's more of like all the guys are removal and eventually I'm just going to get ahead of you somehow, even if it's just with a gargoyle like flying around the board.
So one of the unique cards I see in here, only one other person in the top 8 had this card in their deck, despite multiple people playing the UA variant. And then also in the 64, very few people played this card, was the Synapsis Scroll. How did that do for you? When were you looking to play it, and why did you include it?
Well, the Oracle really smooths things out for me. I love the high health pool. It's always a big deal when you can keep a guy up one more turn. She's got a ton of synergy with Battletech and Weirwood. If you're able to lead off with an Oracle on turn 1, then turn 2 you can actually go Tactician and then Weirwood, and then all of a sudden you got, 5 power Tactician, 5 power Oracle, and you're leveling an extra card. So that can really get you ahead. It can get you ahead on the board, life total, and leveling cards, and that's really like all 3 phases I look at. Another big factor, and the reason, really the main reason I had room for it, is when I was testing, I owned 0 Arc Flight squadrons. Okay. Now this put a huge dent in whether or not I wanted to play robots, because Arc Flight Squadron, it's your lead off. Like Arc Flight is like Leafkin Progenitor. That's your lead off. Kill me or I'm gonna smoke you. And since I only run 1, I actually didn't own a single Arc Flight until I'm pretty sure it was 2 days before deck registration. I just randomly hit one, and I was like, this guy's great. Gonna toss him in there. But at that time, I was still running 3 Bright Steel Sentinels. So the head scratcher, I think a lot of people when they look at the list, is you see only 1 Warwalker, only 1 Sentinel, only 1 Arc Flight. And you're like, well, what is this? You don't have enough robots. I do have enough robots. I do. And a part of that is the fact that my PL1 is smoothed out by the Oracle. So the Oracle fit in where the 2 Arc Flights don't exist. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, definitely lets you level those robots that another Arc Flight would.
Right. And for decks like these, if you're all in on robots, Arc Flight is a better Oracle. That's fine. But there are a lot of plays where they don't line up like that, and Oracle actually is better, especially when a card's just not going to do that much for you. And also, Arc Flight's limited to robots. Sometimes it's better to take that slower player level 1 and line up more level 2s coming up later. And just the fact, like I said, sometimes she just stays up 1 more turn and she just gets big enough to just start slamming people. And that's when it gets crazy. And not to mention the late game. I really try not to set up late game that much, because I always try to think of how am I going to either keep it even or get ahead, right? And Oracle's level 3 is bonkers, just stone cold nuts. If that thing is alive and like quote unquote untap, right? You start your turn and she's loose. Yeah, it's gonna get nutty. So she's got that. Arc Flight doesn't have that at all, at all. He doesn't have the body that L3 Oracle has, and he definitely doesn't have an ability that is as good as just straight up fixing your hand. You can have level 3 Arc Flight in play, and then you draw level 1 robots, and you're like, well, that's pretty underwhelming. So, not to mention, I also felt like I wasn't worried about only having 1 Arc Flight, because what if the other players in the Invitational, and I'm going to say are smart enough to, just because I feel like it's great in the meta, it fits my playstyle, but what if the other players in the Invitational are smart enough to rock Gemhide Bashers? I figure there's going to be a lot of Utera. They might be trying to take away that opener just like I am, so I didn't feel bad about Oracle over Squadron at all. I was actually glad I didn't have 3, because I'd be tempted to play them.
Well, awesome. On that note, go ahead, Nothing.
Just one more question on quickly what we have the deck list is, so 2 Botanimates, 1 Metasculpt. I think both of those are cards which you see in varying quantities in these type of decks. Why a 2-1 split?
That's always the question, isn't it? Oh, it's always the question. All right, so where I decided I like the split. In player level 1, it is not as critical to draw Botanimate when you have to draw it. We know this. It's not as critical. However, you always want to level Botanimate in the proper matchups. When they got like that bomby dude, when they have that Thunder Sword, there's no way you're gonna beat it. It's just ginormous, right? So, what I ended up with on the split is I didn't want 3 Botanimates, and I have more removal. I have more removal than the other AU decks, because I have Matrix and I have Gemhide Basher with backup making them bigger. So I went for the split because I'm not going to be leveling 3 Botanamates. I don't always need them at that time. Matrix and Gemhide let me trade up to kill those bigger threats that a Botanamate would kill, right? And what it also does is it lets me level up bodies. It lets me level up threats as opposed to relying on Botanamate as that removal. So I cut a Botanamate and I ran a Metasculpt so that I had an underleveled option. So if they run, let's say we draw 4 level 1s and a level 2, Justicar or something random like that. But one of the level 1s is Metasculpt. This is much better than a third Botanamate. The Botanamate that I wouldn't have leveled anyways, right? It doesn't have the same play where you're killing the guy, but a lot of times it's just the ability that's important, or it's the armor that's important, or, just things like that. It's that Grimgaunt's not going to get bigger, the Thundersword's not going to get bigger, and it didn't have to be a level 2 to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that guy's probably going to get pumped, yeah, he's still going to be a threat, yeah, but he's not going to win them the game, and that's what's important. Not to mention the synergy, again, with Oracle. Sometimes you can just stealth this thing. I'm pretty sure there's some Zimus in the top 8. I'm pretty sure there's, some good stuff, some good win conditions in the top 8. Sometimes you can just stealth this thing if the hands are right. They're not always there. We're not running numbers to force it to be there, but sometimes it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. So I'm going to go jump into a game here. I'll send you a request. Let's see. I think I will play I think I'll play a Tarsus deck against you if I can find my Tarsus deck in my list here.
So Table, I have a couple other questions for you, but I just wanted to clear it with you. Are you good for being able to multitask and play and talk at the same time?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, I figure as a streamer it probably comes natural to you, but I figured I'd ask. Some people prefer not to be asked questions while they're playing. So as soon as this matchup gets started, I got a couple more for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I used to run big Magic playtest groups when I lived in Tokyo.
Oh.
So we were always just kicking back and barbecuing and slamming beers while we tried to get ready for crazy Tokyo regionals or PTQs or whatever.
So, challenge should be sent.
All right, I'm going to do the little store screen flip trick.
Yeah, so
quick.
Sometimes forcing a reset.
I know. What's up with that post-patch? Let's go, team. Let's pick that up a little bit. All right. Well, I'm on the play.
Okay.
This hand is nuts on the draw, but we're on the play, so... we got Gemhide, Warwalker, Metasculpt, Justicar, Weirwood. I don't like playing Weirwood into an empty board. Sometimes I don't even just play him at all, really. I think that guy is super, people are just on his junk. I don't know why they cry about it. I'm sure you guys are in my train of thought with that. Now, with this hand, like I said, Warwalker, Gemhide, Justicar, Patriarch. I don't like Gemhide into an empty board, ever. The Metasculpt is for later. So it's a 4-card hand. And Weirwood Patriarch I don't like into an empty board. So, not knowing what your deck is, I'm still running the Justicar out blind. I'm not running out the Warwalker. And the reason for that is the fact that I do run only 1 Sentinel. I have a Weirwood in my hand. And, you might not have a board this fast, depending on if they're running removal or not, to where if you draw a roar, you just want to roar and throw the guy in there. So I just make a safer play, just run the Justicar out there.
Okay.
So one of the questions I had for you going into the top 8 is, now that you've had the chance to see the other decks, what are you most scared or worried about playing against? What do you think your hardest matchup's going to be, and what do you think makes it that way?
Hardest matchup? Well, I have the deck list in front of me right now. I'm actually going to scoot it over a little bit, but I guess that's actually a really good question. What am I most scared of? I'm actually just not scared of anything, and I'm not trying to... I'm actually a very humble guy, but I'm going to be honest here. I guess Pesh. Pesh has a better pseudo-mirror. Heart Tree and Triple Thundersword, that's going to help him out a lot.
Yeah, Pesh is probably playing the most unusual or atypical of the Aloy and Nuterra decks.
Well, I would argue that he has the best list in the entire tournament. I'll be honest with you. I think his
Gotcha.
list is, like pound for pound. I think he has the best list in the tournament. I'm not sure about the jetpack though. I never really got enough value out of that card to really care for it. But sorry, I'm playing slow. I want to look through these.
No,
that's a great question. Okay, so I led off with Justicar. I've got Basher, Roar, Justicar, Thundersoar, and since you popped out a Deathweaver and killed my guy, I'm gonna run this other Justicar out there, and this seems like a good start too. So, the Gargoyle, the reason I'm going to play that in front of the Deathweaver, maybe I can bait you into like playing a spell or something. I don't think you want to because you got the Deathweaver. But there's dirty little tricky things I can do here with this kind of board position.
Yeah,
Now, if you notice, you didn't have the Leafkin opener.
No, I missed my Leafkin opener, which is unfortunate here.
It's unfortunate for me because I had Gemhide in both of my first two hands. And I'm really loving it if you just run that guy out there and dare me, because I'll smash it. That's fun. It's a good time. You know what the other thing is, too? After round one, you see your opponent's deck list. What if running 3 Gemhide Bashers just deters a player from playing his best turn 1 card?
Mm-hmm.
What's the value in that? Right?
Yeah, being able to proactively affect what your opponent chooses to play can have a lot of value in these tournaments.
I think it's worth thinking about from like a value perspective as a card, and that's just another reason why I really like that card.
And you got your Oracle.
So here's a good example of a way you can use Matrix. Kind of like, you know how when we're drafting and you're like, how good is Aetherhounds? Or like, how good is Hunting Pack? And you're like, well, if you know you're going to get a trade, then the rest of it is like pure value and you like it. Right? And that's a very similar way to how I play Matrix Warden. Sometimes he just gets a guy big enough to kill that GGP. Or kill that, just giant dude. So, little bit of insight to how good that guy is, and we might have an example later on how good he really is, because he can get nutty. He has some crazy plays.
So I know you said that there aren't any that you're directly scared of, though you mentioned that Pesh might have the best deck.
Ooh.
Do you have any matchups that you think are going to be easy for you?
Oh no, not at all. This event is legit. Like I'm absolutely digging this. Being in the community like the entire time. I mean, the only time I wasn't in the community was for forum games, and I still read those games. By the way, no Thurian with your perfect math. Matt is like the math god. I'm like watching you and who was it? Cerebral Paladin?
Yeah,
I'm watching you guys forum games and I'm like, these guys are good at math. I would like to play with these guys someday. They sound like cool test buddies. And I'm kind of more of like I feel stuff out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at math, but I don't go just off of that. Playing a lot of tabletop Magic,
Mm-hmm.
it really especially in big tournament, like I played in the Japan National Championships in 2011, and that was a blast. But it's not just about the math. We don't have that face to face with SolForge, and it's okay too. It's okay because there's still a lot of skills that cross over from that stuff.
Although it could be cool at some point. I'd love to see some sort of face to face SolForge event with iPads at a convention at some point in the future.
I have thought about. I'm a active duty like paratrooper in the Army, right? I work down here in Miami. I've thought about just calling it a day and opening up a spot so guys could do that. I'd be a TO doing stuff like that. I think it'd be fantastic. But no, there's nobody that is easy here. To answer your question, there's not a single guy in this entire tournament, any bracket, except for that guy running like Pulse Mages or whatever that was. I'm not sure what he was doing.
I was meaning like specific decks. Do you have any that you think your deck matches up particularly well against?
I don't know. I mean, like just because of results, I've beaten Dark Soul already, but he has such a great deck. Extoff. Extoff kind of falls into my wheelhouse a little bit. You know, I'll be pushing him away from playing Leafkins.
Hmm.
Grimgaunt Devourers are not hard to kill. Fido Bomb is pretty just terrible. Yeah, I guess maybe Extoff. He's a fantastic player though. He'll figure something out. It's not going to be easy at all.
Hmm.
I think Extoff is at a bit of a disadvantage, and I think that just because only because of results. The games were super close, by the way, but just because of results, I guess Dark Soul. Maybe we could repeat that. I'm not gonna tell you what I stealth leveled. Maybe we could repeat that result. It was a 2-0, but it was very close. I actually, honestly, the only misplay in my eyes I had the entire night was against Dark Soul, and I almost blew a game that I had beat. Like I had him beat, and I was at 12 life, and he had a Weirwood 2 in play, and I killed all his other guys. So, he's got 9 power on board. It's just a 9/13.
Hmm.
And I have a Gargoyle 3 that I'm about to end my turn, move the Gargoyle, end my turn, and I'll have lethal with the Gargoyle next turn, right?
Yeah.
I'm at 12, he has 9 on board. I move the Gargoyle and empty lane it, knowing that he has no way to kill this Gargoyle, even if I block the Weirwood. So I just leave this 9 power guy open, just like a total goon, right? Yeah, I mean, it was just terrible. I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy's just going to steal this game from me.
Oh, yeah, you're getting so much value from your Justicars and your Bashers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how much I care about this little 4/3 guy though. I think I'll just push. I mean, a level 2 guy's gonna eat him no matter what, but I think I'll just push. So let's get some value here
Okay.
out of Warden. Get a little extra damage and then still set up a thing. I don't really see you playing a roar if all you got is a 8/3 and whatever you drop. So
Hmm.
even a Weirwood's only gonna get it to like a 2/7. I'm not really
Yeah.
worried about that. I'd rather just toss a 7 power in there. He's probably just gonna run into some huge guy anyways.
I think I need to get him off the board. I am going to roar. I don't think it's a good play here, but I don't have great options. I probably haven't been leveling the right set of cards for this matchup.
I mean, it kept the Wisp on the offensive here.
Yeah, at least forces you to spend something to block it.
Pretty
Less level 1s to trade with the Weaver too.
In a position like this, it's usually better to just keep your opponent on his back foot. I've got an 8/12 on offense right here. Your only guy on offense is really low power, and I have the just the ability to just smash your guy in the face. So we'll take away a possible pump next turn, and then I just get to level something. Everything else in my hand is like level 1 trash. But what I can do is I can actually squeeze some extra damage out of this too. So of all the cards in my hand, I'm actually going to level. I'm not going to level Thunder Sword or Gargoyle or anything like that. I'm just going to play the Tactician and just get 2 more. You never know if that's a factor later. Sometimes it's just really good to push. So I'm just going to go with that. And then you're kind of just like back where you started.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
In player level 2, in player level 2, and it's the same with Gox. 8/12 is just a beast. So.
Oh yeah, Gox is.
And that's fantastic for me. I didn't even think you would roar, because an 8/12 empty board is just like the worst.
Yeah,
It's not a good feeling. All right, so yeah, I think I'm really gonna start trying to push here. This is the end of PL2, and the Justicar is probably dead next turn, but I can at least make it hard to block, and we'll try to sneak some damage in here. So I'm just gonna leave a big Gargoyle up and like another guy, and we'll just set it up like that.
Yeah, let's.
So I'm nickel and diming you like this entire game.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a lucky. No, I don't get a lucky Zemus return.
Okay. So that's not bad. I mean, at least it's huge, right?
Yeah.
So almost a third of your health is gone this turn just from that play.
Yeah, the Matrix Warden 2 makes a big difference.
Actually, I think more. No, that's probably more than a third. Let's do this. Let's do let's do this. So that's like 30. Yeah, that's almost half.
Yeah, that's...
And I didn't see any dread bolts, Matt. I'm just gonna let you know.
Yeah, so
I think I'm gonna game log this one. I'm pretty sure I didn't see any bolts.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna make you pay for it, and I'm just gonna make a giant guy that you're never gonna beat.
Excellent.
So there went almost half your life with no level 3s yet, by the way. Gotta play under leveled hands well. That's huge in this game.
Definitely.
So huge.
I mean, everyone wants to start out player level 3 with like the two golden level 3 creatures, but you know, more often than not, you won't, and you got to win those games too.
Anybody watching this video, don't bank on that. It's not gonna be there. When it is there, you just smash the guy, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. But plan on it not being there. Set yourself up. Set yourself up. I'm holding all 1s right now, and I'm not really worried about it, to be honest with you.
Let's.
So, guys, always make sure you set yourself up. Yeah, see? This hand is nutty. This hand is nutty. Oh, man. Okay, so you have all this power. I'm not worried about it. Because it's like all this power, but we set ourselves up to be ahead. We set ourselves up to survive a bad hand. So we're just going to keep the train moving. I don't want to lose this Tactician, though. I know the Matrix Warden's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to die a hero, but he's done. No, actually he's not done. I have a play. There's something to do here. Let's do this. Oh, by the way, I've drawn Thundersword a million times in this game, and I didn't play him once, so there's that.
Yeah, it's...
Are there culls in that list?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw one cull already, didn't I?
Yeah, so I tossed out a cull early because I thought I might need it against the Thundersword later on, but...
Oh my god. Everybody's like, dude, why don't you ever use your game log? But yeah, okay, we had that. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over the top. I'm actually going to use my one of Bright Steel Sentinel. Holy smokes, there it is. And the Warden's going to stay up, and I'm just going to push you. Like a real bad push you. Because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to kill you next turn.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can avoid that.
So let's do that. And now you're in a position where I have a bunch of giant dudes. And if I draw another battle tech or something like that, like it's not gonna... nothing's gonna save you.
Yeah, so I need to...
I know you have Zimus 3.
Yes. So I have a Zemus 3, which I will toss out, and let's see where he jumps. But no, there's...
No, you drew it, sweet.
Yeah, but it's not enough. As you said, I really needed to level a Dreadbolt early against your gargoyles, and I wasn't drawing them at useful times early on, which is, of course, the problem with level-gated removal.
But why? And that's what, you know, that's a good position to put your opponent in. Do you really want to level Bolt when it only kills one of my guys? Like, all the rest of my guys are just, you know, Gemhide's just smashing his face into some guy. It's not like he's going to survive. But, I mean, if I get you to give up an entire card that you're leveling just to kill a gargoyle, I'm actually feeling really good about that. Because if I see you leveling that, I'm going to shift gears. I'm not just going to stick with it.
Right. Obviously, you don't make a 2111 gargoyle if I've got Dreadbolt 2 in my hand.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And you just switch gears. You just go for something else. And just for the sake of just owning his face, I'm going to kill that fucking progenitor.
Yeah.
I'm just going to just angry face him. Sorry, that was completely unnecessary.
Nah, it's cool.
Whenever I see a Leafkin, it's just like, I gotta kill that guy.
I know, when you get the chance to take Notharian into the negatives, you just do it.
Yeah.
I always do.
Oh, you take the cheap shots on him?
Oh, on Notharian, yes. Yes.
You got a player that good. You got to beat him while he's down. You got to keep him humble, right?
When I started, Notharian was my idol, and then I got better than the guy. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Obviously, you practice too much. So, thank you so much, Table, for.
Math is better.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Table, for taking the time to chat with us today, and we definitely look forward to seeing you play this deck this Saturday at the Invitational.
Hey
good
guys,
luck, sir.
It was a pleasure. I'm loving the event. I just want to give a huge thank you and much love to my wife Rachel. We were in the hospital. My daughter was born the day of deck registration, and I almost forgot all about it. So I shot it in at like 8 or 9 something p.m. And made a couple choices that were never tested, and they were correct. So I was happy about it. And then the next day, she was kind enough to give me a break from the hospital, let me hop back to the house, and go smash that bracket. So huge thank you to my wife Rachel. She's awesome. And,
and congratulations to both of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey guys, have a great week. Have fun with the rest of your interviews, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Great.
Have a good one, man.
All right, later.
Later.